Antifragile, Scapegoat Philosophy and Compassion, published yesterday, the 8th of April 2024. The objective of this book is to give the reader an opportunity to gain a real superpower. This superpower is called antifragility and originates from the ability to nurture a compassion so vast that it stretches as within so without. By actively refusing the medicine of the scapegoat and passionately refusing to blame, the reader inadvertently experiences a state-of-the-art repentance. This state-of-the-art repentance can only be reached by the knowledge presented in this book. You cannot possibly regret something you don't understand. And fake it until you make it will simply not work. Let's read about Pan's Panacea. Pan's Panacea. Many are left in utter confusion when stumbling on art and sculptures depicting Moses with horns. Yes, Moses had horns. Moses is the central figure in the Old Testament Judaism and was a shepherd for 40 years before he became God's messenger. Similarly, the Greek god Pan is a horned goat and god of shepherds, and can therefore be likened to Moses. Besides from this, Moses led his people into the wilderness, which rhymes with Pan, the goat also being the god of wilderness. Furthermore, when Moses returned from Mount Sinai with the Commandments, his face had horns, which is mentioned in Exodus 34:30. The skin of his face had horns, and they were afraid to come near him. The Hebrew word blah 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 used for describing his face literally means horns. Without knowing these facts, the initial impression when seeing these horned depictions is hate and suspicion of a conspiracy. But when looking deeper and noticing the connection to wilderness, shepherding, and what Exodus 34 says, the horns suddenly makes sense. Jesus is sometimes titled the second Moses because of his significance and because he fulfilled what Moses prophesied. Moses separated the waters while Jesus walked on it and became the medicine in flesh that Moses held on his staff. Jesus also says that I am the good shepherd, directly insinuating his connection to Pan, the goat shepherd god. In Greek mythology, Pan is the only god that actually dies, which is analogous to the Jesus story where he dies for the world's entire sin. Remember that the biblical word for lamb and goat is most often the same, as mentioned in a previous chapter. Furthermore, another connection between Pan and Jesus is the celebration of Passover with his disciples sharing the bread, which was the symbol of his body. Pan happens to be the Spanish word for bread, which is yet another connection to the goat. Yes, Jesus' body is literally the goat. This again makes the Jesus lamb into an actual goat. More specifically, it's Pan himself. Once you have accepted this, you can consider the crucifixion of Pan to be a Panacea, Greek meaning medicine for all remedies. And so the Panacea, medicine of Pan, is what stopped the human pandemic of spontaneous disintegration. The Greek god Pan's connection to Jesus becomes even clearer when considering the amazing fact that Pan's father is Hermes, the god of medicine. The caduceus once again comes to mind as the symbol of medicine originating from Hermes. One can imagine a form of esoteric mythological mirror between Hermes and his snake staff Caduceus, representing Moses, and the snake itself on Hermes' staff being the offspring Pan, represented by Jesus. The fact that religion is all about medicine becomes overwhelmingly clear. Medicine for what? Our collective sin. This reasoning eventually leads to a deep understanding uh, that can be summarized into the following. Control of spiritual medicine is the control of everything. Thanks for listening.